Some fighters talk and show far too much before the bell ever rings. They posture, they threaten, they turn confidence into spectacle and bravado into noise, convinced that intimidation alone can shape the outcome. But combat has a cruel way of stripping away illusions. Once the cage door shuts or the ropes close in, words lose their power, and skill, composure, and preparation take over. Time and time again, the fighters who talked the loudest were the ones forced to learn the hardest lessons, discovering firsthand how thin the line is between supreme self-belief and outright arrogance. Few rivalries captured this truth better than the build-up between Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. The tension was electric long before the first punch was thrown, with interviews filled with dismissive comments and visible contempt. Marshall spoke with certainty, projecting an image of dominance, while Shields absorbed it all, calm but clearly fired up. When fight night arrived, the reality inside the ring told a completely different story. Shields imposed her will from the opening round, using her footwork, timing, and precision to dismantle Marshall piece by piece. The fight became a masterclass in control, as Shields dictated range, punished mistakes, and steadily drained her opponent's confidence. By the final bell, there was no doubt who belonged at the top. The talk had faded, replaced by a unanimous decision that reinforced Shields' reputation as one of the most complete fighters of her generation. That same pattern repeated itself in the clash between Kate Nethermeyer and Rebecca Manji. The face-off was heated, with Manji pushing aggressively, trying to get inside Nethermeyer's head before they ever touched gloves. But once the fight hit the mat, all that aggression turned into vulnerability. Nethermeyer's wrestling and ground control were suffocating, methodical, and relentless. She shut down every escape, transitioned smoothly between dominant positions, and made it clear that composure beats chaos every time. The bout stretched on, but the outcome never felt in doubt. Nethermeyer's victory wasn't flashy, but it was definitive, a reminder that skill and discipline are far more dangerous than bravado. Zeusia's confidence crossed into mockery during her face-off with Camila, as she leaned into her perceived physical advantages and made light of her opponent. Yet once the fight began, those advantages vanished almost instantly. Camila closed the distance, nullified the reach, and took complete control. From the opening exchanges to the final submission, Zeusia looked lost, overwhelmed by pressure and precision. The rear-naked choke that ended the fight felt inevitable, the final punctuation mark on a matchup where arrogance was exposed in brutal fashion. Sometimes the theatrics go beyond words. Lexi Chaplin and Agata Fagata's face-off stunned audiences when it turned bizarre, blurring the line between intimidation and spectacle. But the moment the fight started, the mood shifted completely. Chaplin wasted no time asserting dominance, dropping her opponent and finishing the contest decisively on the ground. Whatever psychological edge Fagata hoped to gain evaporated in seconds, replaced by the unforgiving reality of competition. A similar scene played out between Cecilia Brækhus and Michaela Lauren, where pre-fight antics once again tried to steal the spotlight. But Brækhus, ever the professional, treated the fight like business. She wasted no energy on drama, focusing instead on precision and timing. The result was a devastating knockout that left no room for debate and reinforced why she stood among the elite. The rivalry between Elle Brooke and Miss Daniela was fueled by genuine animosity, spilling over into physical confrontation even before fight night. Daniela continued to provoke at every opportunity, but Brooke stayed locked in. Inside the ring, Brooke's composure paid off. She boxed intelligently, controlled the tempo, and picked her shots carefully, outworking Daniela over the rounds. The unanimous decision wasn't just a win on the scorecards, it was vindication, a clear message that discipline triumphs over chaos. Tension reached a boiling point when Alina Delon faced Katrina Lechner, especially after a refused glove touch set the tone. Delon responded with relentless aggression, pressing forward and forcing Lechner onto the back foot from the opening moments. As the fight wore on, Delon's pressure intensified, culminating in a brutal knee strike that opened a devastating cut. The damage told the story, sealing a dominant victory that showcased Delon's unforgiving, no-nonsense approach. Manon Lwinga tried to assert dominance through intimidation against Cayenne Aldos, standing tall and unflinching during the face-off. But when the fight unfolded, Aldos proved that calm beats confrontation. She stayed balanced, picked her moments, and consistently outstruck Lwinga across the rounds. It wasn't overwhelming violence that secured the win, but smart execution and composure, earning Aldos a well-deserved decision. Clarissa Shields appeared again in this narrative when Ivana Habazan boldly predicted a knockout. The weigh-in theatrics only added fuel to the fire, but once the bell rang, Shields reminded everyone why predictions mean nothing without execution. She outboxed Habazan with ease, landing clean shots and piling on damage, turning pre-fight confidence into post-fight regret. The spectacle reached another level in bare-knuckle boxing when Jade Mason Wong arrived with props and dramatic threats against Christina Farah. It was designed to shock, to intimidate, to dominate the moment. But Christina's experience shone through once the fight began. She stayed composed, controlled the exchanges, and landed the cleaner shots throughout the rounds. Mason Wong showed heart and toughness, but experience carried the day, earning Farah a unanimous decision. Arrogance met its match yet again when Dagmar Chevuk tried to provoke Zusier, only to find herself completely outclassed once the fight hit the ground. The attempted takedown backfired and the fight ended swiftly, a reminder that provoking the wrong opponent can be a costly mistake. Daniela Perkins learned a similar lesson after attempting to intimidate Clarissa Shields with dramatic gestures. Inside the ring, Shields unleashed her superiority, nearly ending the fight in emphatic fashion and leaving no doubt about the gulf in class. And perhaps the most obvious example came with Gabby Garcia. Despite her fearsome reputation, Yumiko Hot chose to talk, challenge, and provoke. The result was predictable. Garcia overwhelmed her with sheer physicality and skill, ending the fight decisively and reinforcing why some fighters are better respected from a distance. The final chapter saw Cayenne Lismus facing Carolina Wick, who attempted to bully her during the face-off. Lismus refused to back down, and although the fight was tough, she stayed composed, outstruck her opponent, and earned a unanimous decision. It was a quiet but powerful form of revenge, proving that resilience and focus can silence even the loudest intimidation. Across all these fights, the message remains the same. Confidence is a weapon when it's backed by preparation, humility, and skill, but when it tips into arrogance, it becomes a liability. The cage, the ring, and the canvas don't care about words, gestures, or theatrics. They only reveal the truth. If you enjoyed this deep dive into moments where trash talk backfired and skill did the talking, let us know which fight stood out to you the most. Do you think confidence is essential in combat sports, or does it too often cross into arrogance? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more dramatic breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what happens when words collide with reality.